Hello, everyone. It's Sunday once again. Oh my God, I do love Sundays so much. Welcome, really do. Welcome to another episode of Ask the Drummer. I was doing so like the script last night. It was all like thinking, oh my God, this is the third year of Ask the Drummer. I've been doing it for 2 years. And I can't believe that I'm still doing it. But anyways, to be honest, I didn't think that I'll be so like able to like do more than maybe 2 or 3 episodes. But here I am now doing like episode 89, and which is the first one for its third year. And I just want to say before I sort of like bring on our guest for today, I just want to say thank you, massive thank you to all the drummers who have guested on the show. They're all awesome, and also to all the future drummer guests as well. Thank you so much to all of you, and of course my friends, all of you, my friends, who are sort of like watching and sort of like giving me support and things like that. But anyways, um, also I just want to say a massive shout out to Ian Sefton of Fretzel Records. Thank you so much, Ian, for the link up with our awesome drummer guest. I saw him once in Liverpool, and I still remember that gig because he was so amazing and it's so fun to watch and just powerful and exciting when you go and see them live. So I'm gonna bring you our guest for today, my dear friends. Please welcome Carl Rooney of Mexican Dogs. Hey,
Hello, hey, is
hello,
okay.
Carl.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. Looking
Yeah.
forward to all these questions you're about to throw at me.
What's the weather like there right now? You're in Liverpool, right?
Yeah, I'm at home. It's all right, you know. It's blue skies. It's been
Yeah.
raining a little bit this morning, but yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it has been so like raining for I think a couple of weeks now. So like
Good
here we
old-fashioned British summertime, isn't it? British summertime.
That's true. That's why I like it here. You know?
Yeah,
We have summer for like 2 days, and then that's it.
that's it. Yeah, two days of hot weather. Everyone's like, "Dan, oh, it's too hot." And then it starts raining and everyone wants it to be sunny again.
I know. Well, I've seen on your social media, like a Facebook page, that you just came back from candle calling,
Yeah,
and
we
you
did, yeah.
have been really busy with festivals and all that.
Yeah, so we went down to Kendal not last Thursday, the Thursday before. We played at the weekend. We played on a Friday on the Yam Riot stage, which is like the BBC introduction stage.
Yeah,
So it was a massive opportunity for Mexican dogs to, to go down and showcase what we're about. Um, it went it surpassed any expectations that we had. Like it was great. The crowd loved it. We loved it. Yeah, we never left anything off the stage. Do you know what I mean? We
yeah,
give it our all, and yeah, it was outstanding to be honest.
yeah. And I believe you
Mm.
gained a celebrity fan. I saw the photograph, Natalie Imbruglia. Oh my god, what's
Um,
she like?
yeah, do you know what? Funnily enough, so I went down to the front of stage to watch Natalie and Brulia's set, and our
Yeah,
our singer was watching it from the side of the stage. So I was like, "Yeah, what's going on here? Why can't I get up there?" Like, but he met her and got a couple of photos, and she said, he said she was really nice. She was, yeah, lovely. She was lovely.
oh, did you get a photograph with that?
No, come on, I'm
No,
only the drummer, aren't I? I'm
no.
the guy who sits at the back.
Oh,
Yeah, no. No, no, no. I was actually, I was probably at a burger van or something while he was getting that done. I was eating.
no. Well, anyways, I want to welcome you to Ask the Drummer,
Thank you
episode
for having me.
89. Oh, well, no, thank you for saying yes to us, John Rat, too. But episode 89 is all about you, Carl Rooney. So we're gonna start from from the very beginning. So can I just ask you, where were you born? Were you so like born and bred in Liverpool?
Yeah, so I was born in Bootle. Well, I was born in Liverpool and grew up in Bootle. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole entire thing. I've always kind of been in and around Liverpool. I've lived in a few other little places for brief moments in time, but
Yeah.
Liverpool's me home. Yeah.
Well, Bootle is the home of the real people, and Cook the Books, right? Cook the Books are
Uh,
from Bootle
cook
as well. It's
cook the
like,
books. Yeah. I think so.
yeah,
Digsy and that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, Bootle, the home of Jamie Carragher, fantastic footballer. The real people, and yeah,
yeah.
and Digsy and Cook the Books. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Well, what was it like when you were growing up in Bootle?
I don't know, my childhood was great. Loads of friends. Bittle's quite I don't want to say impoverished area, but it wasn't the greatest area to grow up in. It's pretty poor, still is a pretty poor area. Somewhere I'm immensely proud to be from. But yeah, growing up, we didn't have many things. We didn't, we were looked after as kids, but we didn't, we weren't going on holidays every year. We weren't doing this, we weren't doing that. It was just like a normal working class background family where, and everyone was like that, to be honest. Everyone
Yeah,
who grew up in my little estate or area, whatever you want to call it, we were all pretty much cut from the same kinds of cloth. So I don't think anyone ever took anything for granted when we were growing up as kids. But one thing that we did do, we were always out. We were always out playing, roaming around.
yeah,
None of this sitting at home on Xboxes or anything like that. That's what I'm trying to instill in my son now. To get out there and
yeah, yeah.
go and play out, run around in this, go feral kind of thing. But he's having none of it. He's got his Xbox, and that kind of brings him up. But yeah,
Yeah,
when I was growing up, we were a very, very, very tight knit community. Um, it was a lovely area to grow up in. It was, you
yeah,
knew every single person in your street. You just knew everyone.
yeah, yeah. And I believe
Hmm.
you're from a musical family. I only to be actually I only found out about this morning on Facebook. Your dad is the he's actually a legend according to Andy Coy and Dennis Brown, because your dad is the drum tech for Smaller, which is Digsy's, Mr. Digsy's band.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
yeah.
so can you tell me, so like what was it like, so like in a musical family? Any other member of your family into music as well, or
Yeah,
in the
so it was my mum's brother, my uncle. He he was the only person I knew at that time who could play an instrument, and he played guitar. So when I used to go to my nan's, I used to pick up his guitar and have a little go at that. Not that I was ever any good at it, but he was the first exposure to music. He got me into, so his friends were Chris and Tony from the Real People. He grew up with Chris. So Chris was always around in and around me nan's, and they'd all be playing guitar and so on. And then he like kind of got me listening to like Neil Young and the Smiths and little bits and bobs of other bands. And that was my first kind of exposure to music.
yeah,
Now, me me dad, me dad was a drum tech who couldn't tune a drum, right? He couldn't tune a drum. He couldn't play drums, yeah. But he fell in. He kind of stumbled into the role and grew with it. And it was Peter Deary's brother. It was Diggsy's brother Stephen who was playing drums for Smaller at the time, and he kind of offered me dad this role. And my dad totally embraced it. He threw
Yeah.
himself right into it. And then that was when I kind of realised what drums were at that point. There'd always be bits and bobs of different drum kits around, and my dad
Yeah.
would be sat there, making sure that all the lugs and everything was all right. And I'd pick up a drumstick and start hitting it, and it'd be like, "Don't be doing that! It just took me hours." And I'd be like, "All right, all right." Um, but then, yeah, that's when I kind of was exposed to, this is another instrument. It's not the guitar. And
It's not.
the thing that
Yeah.
attracted me, yeah, the thing that attracted me to it was so loud, and you didn't need an amp, you didn't need anything. It was just loud.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
And it felt comfortable for you to be sort of like doing the drums instead
Uh,
of playing the guitar.
well, so the story of me getting into drumming and why I wanted to be a drummer was I remember watching MTV and my nan's, and I saw this band that were on there, and I'm like, oh my! I remember seeing the music video, and it was Nirvana. It was "Smells Like
Oh
Teen
wow.
Spirit,"
Yeah,
and I
Dave
saw
Grohl. Oh my
I
god.
saw Dave Grohl, and was like, oh my God, what is this? Like, what is this music? This
Yeah.
is this is amazing. And then I was like, oh wow, this is this guy's on. But obviously, I didn't know his name because there was no internet. There was none of this. There was none of that. So I kept on asking who this band Nirvana was, and it was one of my dad's friends give me an album, Nevermind,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. And then that's how I found out that this guy was called Dave Grohl. And then one Christmas, around Christmas time, my mum and dad were saying, what do you want for Christmas, kind of thing. And I'm like, I really want to learn how to play drums. And my school was doing drum lessons at that time.
Yeah.
So I asked my mum and dad. I said, can I want a drum kit? My mum was like, absolutely not. No, no way. Absolutely no way. And my dad was saying, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, kind of thing. And I think I was, yeah, must have been 13. And at
Wow.
Christmas Eve, it was Christmas Eve, and I got told, go upstairs. So I'm like, why? It's like 7 o'clock in the evening, and I'm going, why? And my dad's going, just get upstairs, get upstairs. So it goes upstairs, and then I could hear things being brought in, through the downstairs, and I'm thinking, that sounds drummy, that sounds third depot drums. And yeah, Christmas morning it comes down, and there's this old battered Premier Olympic drum kit. And when I say battered, it was held together with gaffer tape and everything. And it was the most beautifully amazing thing I've
Oh,
I've ever seen in my life. It was like based on Ringo's Ludwig kit. It was the
yeah.
same
Yeah.
sizes as that with the blue oyster finish on it. And I came down, and it was just like the best thing ever
Oh
on
wow.
earth. And my dad's like, there you go. He said, I've got you this. So every day from now on, every single day from now on, you have to play, whether you're sick or not. You know, you have to put time into playing this.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to you have to play this for an hour every single day. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But we had we lived in a terraced house. So we had neighbours there, neighbours there. We had an entry, we had neighbours at the back. We had, if I as soon as I hit the snare, everyone within like you know, everyone 2 streets away knew that I was gonna start having a go at me kit, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that Christmas morning, although it was the most amazing thing for me, I
Yeah.
don't think it was for any of my neighbours or anyone around.
Did you
Um,
actually get complaints from your neighbors? So
do you know what? I think my dad had already knocked because like I said, the community that I grew up in, everyone
yeah.
knew each other. So I
Yeah.
think my
Yeah.
dad just like knocked around a few people and said, look, our Carl's going to get a drum kit. I'm going to make him, when he gets home from school, he's going to start
Oh,
playing for an hour. So it'll be from 3:30 till 4:30. Most
yeah.
people would be at work anyway. But if there was ever any problems, just to knock. And to be honest, I don't think anyone ever did knock. Um,
No.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Or if he did, my dad certainly didn't tell me about it.
Well, I can tell now that he is a legend. I think Dennis
He
Brown
is.
and Andy Coy, I totally agree
He
with them
is.
now. Your dad is a legend. But before we continue, I just want to say hello to Waka Staffo of
Wacker
Hey
stuff.
God.
All right,
Yeah,
Wack.
yeah, God. He said, "Go ahead, Carlos." Thank you for joining us. Yeah. And Aiden O'Rourke, who's my sound tech and tech support, he said, "Great sound and vision," which is good. It's nice when he says that. So
That's good.
so you didn't get any complaints, and you were
No,
practicing for an hour every single day. But did you
every
actually
day.
get proper drumming lessons apart from the school
So
ones?
no, so in school we got given I think it was like half an hour on a Wednesday morning, and it was during Spanish. So I was like, okay, if I sign up to this, I don't have to do the first half of Spanish. So I used to go down to the music room, and they'd have
Yeah,
a drum tutor there, and they'd be teaching us rudiments, like paradiddles and stuff like that. And I don't think I ever actually sat behind a drum kit and actually played a beat. It was all about like marching drums kind of thing. So in terms of lessons,
yeah,
I think I've had about two or three throughout like my entire life. So I wasn't kind of formally trained in that way. I just
yeah,
used to put records on and try and play along to them,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's how I'd learn. Obviously with the advance of the internet and stuff like that, um, I sit here now with so many things going on, and I'll sit there with my practice pad, and my girlfriend will be watching the telly, and my son will be, sat there, and I'll be sat there like whacking away and getting shouted at more by them. So no, I never had any lessons, which you could probably tell by if you'd ever see me play live. My technique's shocking. There's a load of things that professionals, shall we say, would turn around and go, "Oh, you're doing that wrong," or "You're doing that wrong." But for me, it's about
it's
it's just
exciting,
about the
isn't it?
act.
It's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
I think it's so exciting to watch when I saw you at Jimmy's in Liverpool. It was just really, really
Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks.
um so you taught yourself how to play the drums, but what was
Yeah.
your first band um before you did so like before you're in Mexican Dogs? Wait, did you have
So
like a school band or
yeah, so my first ever band was with me three best mates at the time. Um, we so when I got my drum kit, my two mates got a guitar, a bass guitar, and then my next door neighbour, he kind of he said he'd step up to the mark and do a bit of vocals. So we used to after about 6 months of us all learning how to play our instruments, and when I say learning how to play our instruments, we couldn't play our instruments, but we were joining this massive super group anyway. Um, so we put it together, and we used to rehearse in my bedroom, right? So again, we had electric guitars,
yeah, yeah,
a bass in a room about 12 foot by 12 foot with a bed in there. And we thought we were the greatest thing on earth. We used to think we were the greatest thing on earth. Somehow we managed to rig up a PA. We managed to rig up this PA from an old DJ desk, and like hi-fi speakers. We
yeah,
plugged
yeah,
hi-fi speakers into it. So as soon as you said something into it, it just distort. But it was the greatest thing ever. We were all like, "Yeah, we're gonna do," and we were. we were rivaling Oasis for the, you know, for that period. We were like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we were the next
How old were you?
Oasis.
How old were you then?
Um, about what? Well, 13, I would have been. Yeah,
And what was the name
13.
of your band?
I don't know. I
You don't
honestly don't know. I
you
don't even
don't
think we got to the no, I don't even think we got to the point of naming it. I think
naming
it was
it.
just I think it was just like there was four of us and we were like, so young and fearless, do you know what I mean? We
Yeah,
weren't
yeah.
bothered about whether people thought we were terrible, whether people and we were terrible. Let me assure you, we were terrible. Um, but yeah, we just I don't know, we all just like enjoyed doing that. And again, that kind of fell into me hours practice time. So my dad had encouraged me to play with other people. That
Yeah.
to him that was more important than that'd get you. So people talk about you in a clock, and especially as a drummer, your timing and so on. So my dad thought that putting me with other equally terrible musicians at that time would have made me a better musician in me dad's weird logic. Like I'm slag I'm slagging me off a lot. I love me dad, by the way. He's the greatest man on earth. He's done so much for me, and I'm making him sound terrible here.
No, it's actually thank you to your dad that you know so
Yeah,
like you're a professional
absolutely.
drummer and everything. So after that, when you were 13, what was your like first, shall we say, proper band where you actually saw like did shows?
Um,
You
so
know?
I think it was when I think I was about 18, 19, maybe a little bit older actually. Because what happened, I kind of played, and then when I turned like 16, 17, I got a job. I had to go to work, and then that aspect of like work and the times that I had to get up for work and the job that I was doing, it didn't really allow me to play, if that makes any sense. It just like I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, work till 12:30 in the afternoon, then I'd sleep.
Okay.
Then, do you know what I mean? I'd just sleep, and then it was like rinse and repeat. So I
Yeah.
didn't really, I kind of put the drums to one side then. So I didn't play for about maybe 3 years, and then
Okay.
I got asked to join a band, even though I hadn't played for 3 years. I got asked to join another band, and then that was me. I think I was in them for about 9 months, and then that incarnation of it ended, and then I joined my first proper band with some of the remnants of that band, like, and we were called L20, which is the Brittle postcode. Shocking
Oh,
name, but it was a shocking name. But the lads, yeah, oh, it's terrible. It's like, oh yeah, I don't even. I was going to say it's like calling yourself E17. Do you know what I mean?
oh
But we
yeah.
weren't. We
I know.
we weren't. We weren't anything like that. So so we started playing together, and I actually done my first ever proper
Yeah.
show with them in a pub in Crosby called Stamps, like a very small little boozer. And that was my first ever gig. I remember asking anyone and everyone who I knew to come and watch me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was like, yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be this. And what I didn't realize, what I was doing was I was just making a rod for my own back, so to speak, because all these people turned up, and I'd never really experienced nerves in that sense. And then that's when that hit me, nerves, and that was my first ever experience with like being nervous about
Yeah.
playing in
Yeah.
front of anyone, and it
Yeah.
was it was horrific. It was like, you know, vomiting before I even went to play and stuff like that. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And I think we done about 4 or 5 of our own songs and something like 7 or 8 covers. Um, and you get the obligatory clap, and it, but but the show. I do remember, even though I came off feeling like I was, the master of the universe, so to speak. I remember, my dad going, do you know what I mean? Oof, that's a bit dodgy, that lads. Do you know what I mean? I think all the songs were played. I think all the songs were either played dead slow or dead fast, dependent on, you know,
Oh,
how
God,
I
yeah,
wanted to start them. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna
yeah.
say the
So,
Waka said that there's only one Arthur Rooney. So, and with a clap. So yeah.
nice one,
Yeah.
Wach.
So, but anyways, on the I've actually read on Mexican Dog's website, and this is from your
Hmm.
sort of like press release something that, I mean, this is incredible. You have toured with Echo and the Bunnyman, Iggy Pop, The Hives, and also performed at Glastonbury. But this was way before Mexican Dogs.
Yeah, yeah. So, Echo and the Bunnymen, so a band that I was in called the Violent Playground. We toured. We done two UK tours with Echo and the Bunnymen. Um, and yeah, that was like a phenomenal experience. It
Yeah.
gave us, we're playing in front of, as an unknown band, we were playing in front of like 1,500, 2,000 people every single night for 28
Wow.
dates, which was phenomenal. And we done that twice over. Again, massive thanks to those guys who made that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely unbelievable. And the things that we experienced there, no one can ever take away. No one can ever take that away from me and the other three lads who were in that band.
Yeah. Yeah.
The memories that we made there are just like, phenomenal for where we were as lads at that point. It was incredible. And then yeah, I think someone's ran away with a bit of artistic license with the Iggy Pop and the Hives thing. We played the same stage as them at a festival.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we got to hang out with a couple of them and that. I remember at this particular festival, my brothers sat next to this American guy, and my brother's just like, chatting to him. He had no idea who it was, and I kind of comes over, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" And our kids sat there with Iggy Pop, like just chilling out and eating chicken, and I'm like, "Wow." And I'm trying to get a word in, and my brother's like, "That go away, lad, go away." Um, and then
Wow.
I think my brother got invited up on stage at that gig. Iggy gets a load of people up on stage at the end, and he got my brother up and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that was phenomenal. And the Glastonbury, I played there with a band called the Sterlings, and that was just yeah, that was I always had like these dreams and ambitions of obviously playing, the biggest festivals and stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Glastonbury being arguably one of the biggest UK festivals, or it's known all over the world. And I got the opportunity to do it with a band called Estate. I think I was only in them for about 9 months, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and I got to perform at Glastonbury. It wasn't on one of the major stages or anything like that, but that
It's
didn't
still
matter to me.
Glastonbury, you know?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't matter
Yeah.
to me. It was
Yeah.
I was playing Glastonbury, and that's something that
Yeah. Yeah.
I can say I've done. I've ticked that off me things to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, what
but
happened
it's
to,
funny.
yeah, what happened to the violent playground? I mean,
Um,
playing with
so
Echo and the Man. I mean,
yeah, yeah. So the Violent Playground, we were um it's our guitarist kind of he can't he did he met a girl from America, and he kind of put a time limit on how long he was gonna continue with the band. You know, if we didn't
Oh,
progress further, so to
yeah,
speak.
yeah, yeah.
And for me, there was, you know, it was either we were all in it, or I wasn't going to play with someone else. I wasn't going to get that person in, and I wasn't going to get that person in to play. And to be honest, by the end of it, and I think we'd all kind of fell out of love with the violent playgrounds and what we were doing. When we were turning up at the rehearsals, you could sense that we were all resenting being there. You know, we all had other things
Oh
going on
no.
in our
Yeah,
lives, and
yeah.
we wanted to focus more on that. But yeah, it was it is a regret that we didn't do more. That
Yeah.
always is a regret. But life gets in the way. Do you know what I mean? Life gets in the way, and it's
Yeah, of
important that
course. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know that the lad who Carl, his name was Carl as well. He moved. He ended up getting married and moving to Vermont in the
Oh,
USA. So
yeah,
he lives
yeah.
there now. So his life is so much better.
Then
From
staying in the
making
band.
him. Yeah, 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 absolutely. And
Yeah.
and
But
to
were you
be
able
honest,
to were you able to release like records or CDs during that period that
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
together?
yeah. I think we did. I don't know. I don't know where they are, or whether they done anything or whatnot. But we did. We released a. I think we released a bit of an EP.
Right?
And we recorded a lot of stuff. We went to Rockfield and recorded. We
Wow.
recorded in Parr Street. So yeah, we did do an awful lot in that band, to be honest.
Yeah.
But again, it's just one of them unfortunate things that kind of it just happened. You know what I mean? The band happened, and then the breakup happened, and then everyone moved on with their lives. And I still see I still speak to Carl, who's in the States now, and
Yeah.
Danny.
Yeah.
Me and Danny still keep in touch, but I haven't spoken to Lol, the bass player, for, I don't know, must be about 4 years, 5 years. It's just like
Oh,
life kind of gets in the way. I do miss
yeah.
them. I do miss going into a room with them and playing. I do miss all of that aspect. But like I say, every one of us have now got our own paths, and we all kind of focus on that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now Iggy Pop. So
Mm.
again, did you ever get a photo with Iggy Pop?
Do you know what? Right, and I don't mean this to sound like I'm too cool for school or that, but I don't really get photos with people. I
No.
don't.
Oh no.
No, no. I don't know. Maybe it's something that my dad kind of instilled in me. You know what I mean? As long as you know that you've met that person, or
Yeah.
you've done this or you've done that, then like it doesn't matter what anyone else kind of thinks, or whether they believe you or not. So no, I don't go in for. I think the one person that I'd like stalk and follow around for a photograph would have to be like Dave Grohl. I think if he was
Oh.
there, there'd be no way. I think even in the photo, it'd be his security grabbing hold of me, and me just like kind of reaching out to him. But I think that's the only person that I'd really ask for a
Yeah.
photo. I did have some photos with me and my brother, where so my dad done a tour with Oasis, and me and my brother were there with Liam, Noel, um, Alex Higgins, the snooker player. He was on some of the photographs.
All right.
So I did get a photo with them. But yeah, other than that, I don't really go in for
Well,
even doing photo shoots. Even doing
yeah.
photo shoots for this band, I'm like that. You know what I mean? In the background, going, oh.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this because I'm into so like having photos. Because for me, it's like having souvenirs, like memories. Because sometimes I'm so like thinking when you grow old, when you're older, and then you're starting to get like memory loss and things. It's always nice to have that
That's already
And
started happening, man.
see,
It's not because I'm old. That's already started.
well, so how do you feel towards, say, for, like me, for example, like people wanting to sort of like have a photograph with you? Are you okay with
Oh no,
that?
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I've got it's just when it's like me going, hey, do you mind if I have a photo? It's just I don't know. I don't like to do that, to be honest. But like you turned around to me at that at the Jimmy's gig and said, "Can I
Jimmy's,
have a
yeah.
photo?" And I couldn't believe that you were asking to have a photograph with me. I was like, "That what?" You know what I mean? I was thinking, "Wow, like what's going on here?" kind of thing. But you asked for a photo, and then like I think two or three other people asked for one, and I'm
Ask for
thinking, what's
photo.
going on here? You know what I mean? Do these think I'm someone that I'm not? Um,
Well,
but yeah, if anyone wants a photo, just come and ask. It sounds.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna say that I did sort of like do I think a couple of videos during that gig, and I posted it on YouTube. And I think it was sort of like not soon after, but a while after that, I got a comment, and it's I think it's from your brother, because
Ah,
most
what's it say? Oh, I'm dreading
because
this.
when that video saw like performances of bands, I like sort of like focusing on the drummer, especially if I can see them. I mean, most of the time, either the bass player is sort of like covering them, or maybe the singer. So like, so but whenever I could sort of like focus and then sort of like zoom in on the drummer. I do that,
Hmm.
for the videos. And I think your drummer sort of like commented, God, this is why he's so like focusing on my brother. And I'm like, oops, I'm sorry.
No. Um, do you know what? I'm not sure if I've even seen that. Like, I don't go on and search myself. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't type in. But I'll certainly have a look after this. Apologies in advance for anything that my brother said.
Oh
Apologies.
no, I actually sort of like said to him, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I just love drummers and I love sort of like if I get the opportunity to sort of like show their skills, then I would do." So it's like
Ah,
basically,
nice one.
brilliant. He said that's brilliant that I'm
Ah,
actually sort of like
boss.
focusing on it. So, but yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about Mexican dogs,
Okay.
because right. So you're actually so like you've done quite a lot before forming Mexican dogs. So you're already like is it the seasoned drummer? Is that what they say or
I
something?
am. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm the seasoned drummer.
yeah. But again, from your website, you haven't been together that long. It says that
No.
it's the start of 2020 when you formed the band.
Yeah, so originally, Gaz, the singer, and myself, we've been friends for God knows how long. Um, and he sent me a message this day. I knew that his band had split, and he sent me a message saying, "Do you want to do something together?" And I'm like, I looked at the message and thought,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll reply back in a minute." And then he said the name if it's gonna be Mexican Dogs, and I'm like, I'm signed in. I'm all in for it now, mate. Yeah, 100%. Let's do it just based on the name.
Yeah.
So originally it was just me and Gaz. So me and Gaz were trying it for about 8 or 9 months, maybe, just as a two-piece. Um, and Gaz kept on saying to me, "We need a bass player. We need this." And I'm kind of thinking, well, the bass player is just, it's another person who can come in and maybe mess with the dynamic a little bit because the songs that we were producing at that moment in time were great. They really were. I come out of the rehearsal room and think,
Yeah.
wow, what have we just done there, kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
and then Sonny, so we moved from one rehearsal room to another, and we were in there doing our little like half-hour set or whatever it was that we had, and Sonny was working there, and Sonny comes in and says like, you know, you guys are amazing, or you're a boss, blah blah blah. Do you want to, you know, I'd love to have a go at playing bass. Now we'd already auditioned about 5 or 6 bass players at that point, and it just didn't, for whatever reason, it just didn't click.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was really dubious about whether or not, you know, whether or not we auditioned or whatever. And Gaz is saying, look, let's have this go, and if it doesn't work, then we'll sit down and have a word. So um, the next week, Sonny comes in based up and that, and within 30 seconds, like it was, I knew instantly. As a drummer, you've got to have a connection with the
The
bass
bass,
player.
yeah.
You've got to have a
Yeah,
connection with your rhythm section. And within 30 seconds, I was like, wow, this kid is he's just so cool. He's pushing at the right parts. He's holding back. He was phenomenal. I was literally like taken aback by him. Um, and I remember Gaz turning around to me and just smiling at me and saying like, this is it. And I actually turned around to Gaz after that practice and said, look, mate, I'm so sorry for being so resistant. You know, this lad's gonna, he's gonna work well. And then it's just kind of progressed from there. So as a three piece, we've actually been together about just over 2 years as a
yeah,
three piece. And me and Gaz had been arsing around and got a few ideas before then.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it has only been like a really short period of time, considering what we've done in that,
yeah,
two
yeah.
years.
Well,
Yeah. So,
have you asked where did that name Mexican dogs come from?
oh yeah, I know exactly where it cut. Yeah. So, um, Gaz was watching a lot of Narcos at the time, and they referred to the Mexicans as those Mexican dogs, and it, for whatever reason, it resonated with Gaz, and he said like, wow, that's going to be a name of a song or a name of a band.
Yeah,
um so we were like, you know it when, like, I don't want to go into like names and stuff like that, but a strong band name, or people might think that the name's crap or terrible, and not everyone's entitled to their opinion. But when he said that to me, it was just powerful. It struck a chord. It was like wow. And I don't know whether it was because I was watching a lot of Narcos at the same time, but
yeah,
but it was like yeah, this really does, it sits well.
yeah,
And it's, when they're referring to the people, when they were referring to them as like the underdog kind of thing. They were referring to them as like the lesser people and so on. And it kind of had like a dirty, grimy undertone to it. And that certainly is what our music is. It's a little bit dirty. It's a little bit grimy. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
got all
yeah.
it's got all those aspects. So I think it fits really well with the music that we're playing as well.
Yeah. Well, if you Google sort of like Mexican dogs, like what I did yesterday when I was writing this script, it actually sort of like gives me Chihuahua.
Yeah. So
A
you've got a
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua and
It's
some mad,
solo.
weird,
It's like
dead Zolo
so yeah,
thing, and
something like that. Which is apparently is a hairless dog, but it's spiritual. It's a
yeah,
spiritual
yeah.
dog in Mexico. So it was all like thinking maybe it's got a connection with the band or
No,
anything.
no, no. It's honest to God, it's a name off Narcos, and we've just robbed it. That's all it was. It was a thing. I wish there was something like dead mysterious and it had like different
Yeah.
layers to it. We got it off Narcos. It's as simple as that.
Well, it's a really good name anyway. It's very, very good.
Thank you.
But yeah, so it was still sort of like the COVID years when
Mm,
you were sort of like when you formed the band. That
yeah,
must have
yeah.
been really hard because I mean, were you able to actually practice or sort of like do gigs
No,
or
not at
anything?
all.
No.
No, we weren't practicing. No. Um, we stuck to all the rules. No, I don't want to make light of that. Like, but what we done was we would meet up and maybe we want to be in one corner, want to be there, I'd be here, and we kind of meet up and then go,
Yeah.
right, okay, what have you got? Or Gaz would work away in his attic, and he'd be recording and stuff like that, and he'd be sending voice notes through and so on. But you couldn't rehearse in like unless you had your own room, you couldn't
Yeah.
rehearse.
Yeah.
So then I think they turned around and said you could form like some kind of social group. So as soon as they turned around and said you can form a social group, that was it. We were all,
That was.
you know, that was our interpretation of the rules.
Yeah.
And then we got
Yeah.
together and rehearsed. But there was certainly there was no gigs going on for
No.
I don't know,
No.
was it about a year or something, nearly a year or do you know what?
Yeah.
I, I,
Yeah.
don't- I don't really like
I think
um
it was May 2021 when I first went to the gig because I didn't go out at all for a year and a half during the COVID
yeah,
year.
well they are then.
So
So
yeah,
yeah.
it's yeah.
So I think our first gig was I might get this wrong, but it was July, our first gig in 2021, our
21,
first
yeah,
ever gig.
yeah.
And we played Future Yard. And then our second gig was the Waterloo Festival the day after. Um,
Right.
and then our third gig was the gig that you were at.
Yeah,
But
yeah. The Jimmy's.
I think, yeah, yeah, I think we'd all kind of, I think we'd honed our trade well by then. You know, we knew the songs inside out. Let's face it, there was nothing else that you could do. Once you were allowed to make them social groups, there was nothing else that you could do. You couldn't go to booze. Well, you could go to boozer, but you'd have to go and sit like 10 foot apart from your mate or whatever. You know, the rules were fucking ridiculous to be honest. But you'd have to sit, you know, wherever or whatever. So gigs weren't really forthcoming. And I think that opportunity of being given that period of time where all we could do was get together as a band and
Yeah,
play and do that. I think, that that really did set us up, like, yeah.
yeah. And not long after that, I mean, not. I think it says there that it's like 6 months after you sort of like formed the band, you got signed into sort of like Ian Sapton's Fretzer record,
Well,
which is
so
really good. Yeah,
the
yeah,
story behind that was me and Gaz had recorded a song. So that would have been in February. So we recorded the song in March of 2020, a demo of Run Run Run.
yeah,
And it was just me and Gaz playing on it. And somehow it got to Ian Sefton. And before we'd even played the gig, before he hadn't even seen us live. And he come up to Liverpool and said, I want to sign you to do an EP. And we're like, what? Is this some kind of joke? We haven't even played the gig. And he's like, no, I believe in you. I really do. I want to, I'm going to put me, my money where my mouth is, so
yeah,
to speak.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I want to do an EP with you. This is this is the contract. And then, yeah, we signed an EP deal with Ian before we'd ever played a live gig, which was to us was
amazing.
absolutely astonishing. Yeah, it was. Well, like
Yeah,
this doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't happen. And yeah, and then obviously we done that in was it May, and then our first gig, like I said, was in the June or the July.
yeah,
Um, so obviously, there's been that one song, and it was the only song that we had um resonated with certain people, and then I I think it might have been our old manager Phil Melia who got the disc to Ian, or I don't know. But anyway, Ian heard the song and was like, okay, I wanna do this with you, kind of thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
was phenomenal, to be honest.
yeah. It's a good label as well because he's got Matt McManaman, in his label,
Yeah,
and
yeah, from the Dead
Hughes.
60s. Yeah, Matt's great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
So yeah,
So yeah, it's a really good label. We obviously, from the three of us, we can't thank Ian enough for what he's done for us,
yeah,
and where he's got us to. We are very appreciative of that. And yeah, it's let's see what happens going forward.
yeah. Well, also, saw that you're in a compilation album about Mark Bolan's music,
Yeah,
and you did
yeah.
a cover of "Life's a Gas." Can you tell us? Can
hmm
you tell us more about how did that come about?
Um, to be honest, with me just being the drummer, I don't really know the
No,
intricacy.
no,
Like I
sorry.
said before, I just turn up and play. No, I think someone got in touch with Gaz because of, again. Oh no, no, I'm lying. So we went into Elevator Studios to record three acoustic tracks, um, just to see, take us out of our comfort zone, record acoustically, because as you've heard our songs, the they're not the quietest of songs, and 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 they push along. So
Yeah,
we were working with a guy called Steve Dinwoody, who said, yeah, right. So what I want you to do, I want you to go in, I want you to record three acoustic tracks for, I think it was a thing called the Sound Lab. And one of them was a cover of Life's a Gas by T-Rex.
but yeah,
But again, a really, really stripped back version of it. Um, and we went in, we recorded the three acoustic tracks in a day. Um, and then I think maybe Life's a Gas was released on YouTube, and then someone from the Mark Bolan Foundation got in touch with ourselves,
oh,
and gave us the opportunity to have the track added to it. I think it's a double
yeah.
a double
It's a
album.
double album, yeah.
Um, yeah, and all the proceeds go to uh, I want to say the Mark Bolan Mark Bolan Foundation, and to,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
to do film schools, and I think it was like wells and stuff like that. So it's for a really noble cause. We don't get anything out of it, which is completely right. We knew that anyway.
yeah,
It's for the
yeah,
charity. So
yeah,
um, yeah, but it was again, being featured on things like that. It kind of um, says loads about the band.
yeah. Well, how because like I said, I've seen you play before, and it's really sort of like powerful and loud and exciting. So how do you sort of like what's it like when you do acoustic and you're sort of like
Um,
calm and you can't really hit really very sort of like hard when you're doing the acoustic sort of like set or
it's
song, you
nice.
know?
I've got to say, it's actually quite nice, because usually when you go into a studio, drums and bass are recorded
Yeah.
first. So the pressure's kind of all on at first. On these tracks, I was recorded last, and all I had to do was a shaker, a hi-hat, and a snare, and it was that easy. Um, so it was actually a really enjoyable experience,
Yeah.
doing that, because it wasn't the click track, and make sure that your 700 drums are all quarter note tuned down, and every cymbal. Not that I play with 700 drums, I'm joking. But yeah, it was a really, really relaxing. Yeah, I really enjoyed the acoustic version, and again, because we are full on, um, it showed a side that we can do that none of us would we would never in a million years would have sat down and done acoustic. Uh, Not at that time anyway. We certainly that wasn't even an option. And when it got
Yeah.
pitched to us, we were like, all right, yeah, we'll give it a go. We didn't expect it to turn out the way that it did. It was phenomenal. Um, I think if you go and listen to Life's a Gas, and there's another two, but I don't know whether they're out in the domain yet. We might keep them in our back pocket for an album.
Okay. Yeah, bro,
Um,
you are. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But certainly if you go and listen to Life's a Gas, and there's a video on YouTube of it, um, it kind of shows, that other side to us. And, you know, Gaz's voice is amazing on it. Sonny's harmonies, again, I'm playing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't fault it. I actually really enjoyed that song. Um, Not that I listen to it every day or anything like that, but when it comes on, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, so like, we live on this all like the main road, so sometimes you hear all these police cars and so like
It's
sirens
all
are
right.
like.
I was just about to leg it. I thought they were outside ours. I was about to get off.
um, so you've got loads of sort of like gigs coming up.
Yeah,
There's festivals and then supporting the real people. Because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
40th, no, 30th or 40th anniversary, I think it is. So like, oh, 30th,
30. Is
30th,
it the
I think.
30, 35 years or
Oh yeah,
25 years? I might
yeah,
be
yeah.
putting I might be putting years on them here, so I'm not going to commit to what one it is. But yeah, that's
So you're
that's
only
the
doing the Liverpool one, which is at the
yeah.
Academy in
So
Liverpool. Yeah,
yeah, so when was Chris told me about it a
yeah,
few months
yeah,
ago that they were going to be doing a tour. So I said, "Oh, please, listen, I love that band, and um, I said, please, let us support you at one of the shows, or if not the whole tour." But obviously, different things started coming in for both bands then.
yeah,
So just the fact that I'm supporting them on the 9th of September is amazing. Every gig I get to play with them is like it is like a bit of a dream come true, to be honest. I've loved them since I got into music,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're always there for advice. They're
They're,
always there to listen.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
local heroes, aren't they? I mean, being from
Well,
Bootle as well.
yeah,
So,
very much so. But the fact
yeah,
that they were, they were instrumental for me getting into music, and to be able to share the stage with them is
yeah,
phenomenal. But again, we've got we've got that gig, and then we've got a few festivals. Um, don't
yeah.
don't ask me the dates though, because I don't know the dates. We've got we've got one in. Oh no, I do know the dates because we're playing the Little Orchard Festival in Cornwall on the 8th of September. So the day
Yeah,
before
the day
we play
before
with the
the
real
real.
people,
Yeah, yeah.
we're in Cornwall. So that's going to be a lovely trip back home to soundcheck. So we're
Yeah,
yeah we're in Cornwall, and we've got
and you've got your main headlining in December.
we've got
Yeah,
our main headline show on
is
what
it
date in December is it?
is it the 9th
9th?
of December? No, something in December. But it's at the Hangar 34, so like
Yeah,
venue.
Hangar 34.
I love that
Yeah,
place.
it's a great
Yeah, it's a
venue.
nice
Yeah, it's a
venue.
great
Yeah,
venue.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you need to go and get your tickets early for that one,
Yes,
because it's
that's
uh,
right.
it's 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 gonna be crazy. It is.
Yeah,
But yeah, obviously with everything that we've had going on over the summer, and like you've just been saying, there are still more festivals that we're playing. Um, we've kind of started promoting our own show, but I think now it's really going to start ramping up for the Hangar gig. So you'll be seeing lots more out there on
Oh
social media
yeah,
around that
Mexican
show.
routes.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, Dennis Brown said. I think it's when the siren was sort of like going off. He said it's the busies. Is
It's
that
the
the
busies, yeah,
busies? Yeah? Is that like police?
yeah, 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 yeah. So the
Okay.
busies are the police. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
like
good. It's good that Dennis Brown. Thank you for sort of like joining us live. But I've got to ask you. I know it's already 3 o'clock, but I've got all these sort of like regular questions that I asked
okay,
our
fire
guests.
away.
Yeah. So the first one is I can't remember now whether I've actually seen you do this, but do you twirl when you play the drums?
Yeah, I
You do
do.
that?
It's a habit. I've only ever dropped my stick once when I've done it as well. I've only ever dropped it once, but I was able to grab another stick quickly enough
Yeah. Yeah.
before anyone noticed. But yeah, I have this. I have, and just like he has some, I enjoy
Yeah.
twirling my sticks and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not very good at it, but yeah, it's something I enjoy.
No, I think maybe that's the reason why it was so like it's so exciting because I do love drummers when they do that, and then it's like even when it's just not when they're playing, but when they're sort of like say the singer is talking or talking to the audience or something, and
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
whirling, and I think, oh wow, that's so good. And
Do
also
you
the
know
one,
what though? I
yeah,
don't do it to show off. I do it in one song. I do it in one song to show off, but it's like a habit. I'm like, like tapping. I do
yeah,
that, and
yeah,
then I start doing, yeah, yeah. It's a
yeah,
shocking
and
behavior.
uh, another thing that I also like is when they count when they sort of like do that with the sticks. I just
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think that's why I think the drummer is very important because it's like starting a song.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really up to the drummer to sort like command
Well,
how to do
I
it.
have I have clicks. I have a click in my ear.
Yeah,
Not that. Listen, any of the lads that if you ever speak to the lads from Mexican Dogs, right? So I've got this click to keep me in time, yeah. And they'll tell you that I'm always out of time, even though I've got that, right? So, but yeah, the one, two, three, well, and
yeah,
then you go into the yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna start doing that though. I'm not gonna start doing that. I just shout.
But is it I don't know sort of like the right because I haven't got any technical sort of like knowledge about music or
Neither have
drumming
I.
or any. I mean, but is it really so like down to how fast you do the
Yeah, that's
counting?
exactly it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you'll have so beats per minute. So you'll have so many
Yeah,
beats per minute, and they'll be like one, two, three, four, one,
yeah,
two, three, four, and you'll that's when you'll count in one, two, three,
yeah.
four, and then you'll go into it. Yeah, it's
But
it's
is
as
it?
basic as that. Honestly, you've just explained it. It's better than I ever could.
But is there a way of actually so like not doing it right?
Yeah,
Like, uh,
I do
like,
it every gig,
oh.
even though I've got that. That's just a noise. That doesn't keep me in time. No, of course, like you can start slow. You just need to be on the pulse, especially if you're
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
to. And I know I keep doing that, but that's like the sound that you hear in your ears. And as long as you stay to that, you'll stay in time.
It- oh,
Um,
God.
and then
Yeah,
everyone else has to play to you because you're the timekeeper. So
yeah,
that
yeah.
means that I am the most important person in Mexican Dogs ever, and I'm the most important person in the band. So yeah, that's. I'm
That's
joking, of
true.
course. I'm joking, of course. I'm joking.
Well, have you ever had any sort of like accidents or drumming disasters that I call them?
Yeah.
you know,
So I
yeah.
was I was playing a gig in Birmingham with the Violent Playground, and the side monitors, the monitors at the sides of the stage. So the monitor was right here at the sides of me, and I'm playing away, and I've got my head down, and the monitor fell over onto me while I was
No.
playing. Yeah.
No way.
Um, yeah, and I still carried on. I still carried on, but I was a little bit
They're heavy.
dazed to
They're
say
heavy,
it.
aren't they? They're
Yeah.
heavy
It
things.
fell right on top of me, and then like kind of rolled off. Um,
God.
maybe that's why I'm as intelligent as I am now. That bang on the head, but no, the that happened. I've fell off the stage a few times as well. Like the back of the stage. So
Yeah.
I've finished a gig and jumped to go around me stool and just like ended up falling off the stage.
Oh,
Only about 6 foot. But
oh
yeah, I've
no.
done that before.
Well, Jimmy's, it's actually the way they got the drum kit set up there. I think there's not enough room for so like because it's very close to the wall. It's almost like
Mm,
there's not enough room for you to do so like a lot of like with
I've
your arms or your shoulder or something. Is that
yeah.
right or
Um, to be honest, I can't really remember, but if I was able to do a stick twirl, then
then that's
I've got enough
okay?
room
Yeah,
in there. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
I've got a pretty big drum kit anyway, so I get quite a bit of space.
yeah, yeah. Well, the one that you used there was actually the real people's. I think it's the real. It's Tony
Oh
McGuigan's
yeah,
drum.
yeah, Tony Max one, yeah.
Yeah. How is it so like how do you adjust? Like
It just
when there are two or three bands or say in a festival and then there's a drum kit there, um, is it easy to sort of like just use somebody else's drum kit or do you have to sort of like
um
modify and change a few
I would
things?
I would always prefer to use my own because it's tuned to how I like it. Um it's tuned for Mexican dogs. It's got
Yeah,
that sound it's just like a guitarist wanting to use their guitar and their amp or a bass player to use their stuff. So given the opportunity, I would always use my own.
yeah,
But obviously that doesn't always happen. So I'd always take my own stands, and my own cymbals, snare and bass pedal. Um, and then
right.
anything else I can kind of work around. But
Yeah,
in Mexican Dogs now, we're lucky enough to have a tech, Connor Colford, who's an outstanding drummer himself. Um, and he always he'll go on and set everything up for me. He knows the heights, everything's locked and stuff like that. So he just comes on, puts everything in place, and then
yeah,
I walk on and do my bit. Like,
yeah. Everything's set and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It is literally as simple as that. But everyone has their own specifications. And being a drummer, I don't know whether this is a drummer thing, and if Wacker's still on, he'll be able to answer. Um, but if something's like a couple of inches away, it feels like it's over the other side of the room. If it's not perfectly set to how you usually have things, it feels like it's so far away, and it can get into your head sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I usually overcome it. I just turn up and hit the drums as hard as I possibly can.
Yeah. Well, the other sort like side of it is say you're the headliner, so it's your drum kit that's up on stage. How precious do you get with other bands or other drummers using your drum kit?
Very, very precious.
Yeah.
I've seen people put use one. So I use two floor toms. I was playing a gig somewhere with a band that will remain nameless, and the drummer was using one of my floor toms as a table. Um, he had his drinks on it, and
Oh
that didn't go down well. But
no.
I'm very protective over over me drums. If someone's using my kit, so if I was using someone else's instrument, I would treat it with the greatest care. You know, I wouldn't want to damage it or anything like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'd expect the same,
They do the
you know,
same. Yeah.
the same thing. But that being said, um, you know, if someone's using my instrument, then it's me who says, yeah, that's fine. You know, you jump on there. If they don't treat it with care and respect, then you know
You're not
there'll
using
be
it
there'll
again.
be yeah there'll be a there'll be a difficult conversation at the end of the night. Um,
Yeah, I'll remember you. You're not gonna use my drum kit ever again.
something along them lines, on yeah,
Yeah,
something along
yeah.
them lines.
Because you know, with guitars, like recently I went to a gig and the singer, his guitars or like the strings so like came off, and you know, and he couldn't use it anymore, so he asked the previous man that was on, he asked if he could borrow the guitar, and it was just perfect. He just carried on playing. So it was just all like thinking it's probably the same with drum kits, that you know,
Yeah.
there's a standard sort of like setup that any
Oh yeah.
drummer. So
Yeah, there is. There's a standard setup, but I think um I think every drummer has their own little
special,
little
yeah,
ways of, yeah, like their own preferred methods, shall we say.
yeah,
But all listen, we hit ultimately a drummer is someone who has wood in their hands and hits plastic or skin as hard as we can. That's how primitive that's how primitive it is. Do you know what I mean? It brings out the caveman in you.
well, another question is: you mentioned Dave Grohl before. You saw him play. You saw him on MTV, and you know they saw like "Smell Like Teen Spirit" and stuff.
Hmm.
So obviously he's a drumming hero,
Yeah,
and you'd like to have a photo with him someday.
100%.
But have you got any other drumming heroes?
Um, so yeah, like well, John Bonham,
Oh yeah,
he's unreal.
yeah,
Keith
yeah.
Moon, um, who else? Neil Peart, Ian Pace,
Tony
Tony
Mac,
Mack,
Tony Mac,
Waka
yes.
Waka Staffo,
Waka
who's
stuff,
if he's still
yes.
here, Waka Staffo. Um, no, I've like I think no matter if someone's energetic and what's the word? So they're energetic and they're all in, and you can see that's they're making that their instant. So a drummer essentially is always at the back, yeah. And like you've just said, when you saw me, and this isn't me turning that, oh look at me, but when you saw me,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of like to stand out because of how I play. Um, and it was something that my dad said to me, "You're on that stage for 30 minutes. It doesn't matter who's been on before or who comes on after you. That's your stage. So just because you're at the back doesn't mean that people shouldn't see you. So anyone who's um anyone who's energetic and gives it gives it all they've got really is up there in my top drummers. We could go on for days about, drummers and so on, but like John Bonham, Keith Moon, um, Dave Grohl, they're
Yeah,
they're they're up
yeah.
there definitely.
Would you like it to sort of like be, you know, I think in the old days they had the drummer at the front when they're playing, but then I think it
I've
was
I've
in the 60s or something, or 70s. I don't
yeah,
know, 50s or
only
60s.
quite recently, only
Yeah.
quite recently. I was at the kind of the front of the stage, at the
Brilliant.
Bootle Festival.
Yeah.
Um, not through design, like just because that was the only place where they could put my drum kit. So yeah, but I like being positioned where I can see the other two lads, more in the centre where I can see both of them,
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than being in a straight line and having to look across. Yeah.
Well, what would be your advice to aspiring drummers out there or musicians?
Just keep practicing. No matter what. No matter what you do, no matter how much you fall in love with it or fall out of love with it. If you want to do something, it, be it a drummer or a guitarist, anything,
Yeah, yeah,
practice. You
yeah.
you don't have to go and get listen. There's enough stuff on YouTube now where you don't even have to go and pay for lessons. You can
That's
really
true.
learn from
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So just practice, 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 and
yeah.
one day you'll achieve whatever that is that you want to achieve. No one's dreams, no one's dreams have to be to take over the world or be the biggest band in the world. If you have little things like Glastonbury and signing a record deal, I've achieved them. I've
Yeah,
actually achieved what obviously my dreams now are much bigger and bigger and bigger, but they
yeah,
were my dreams as a kid, you know.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know,
And
some
again, it's
scruffy,
yeah, again, it's like your dad said that to you as well. It's like if as long
yeah,
as you practice an hour every single day, so that's
mhm,
uh,
and
your
that's
dad,
it.
the legend, Arthur Rooney, the legend.
Arthur Rooney. Look, if some scruffy little get from Bootle, right, can go and play Glastonbury and can do this and can do that and blah blah blah, anyone can. And I truly mean that. Absolutely anyone from anywhere can go and do it as long as they've got the desire to do it and they've got the inclination to practice, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. But before I let you go, do you want to just invite everyone to the gigs that you're gonna be like playing, like you last words from you?
Uh, yeah, sure. So you come and see Mexican Dogs. All the gig information is on Instagram and Facebook and so on. But the gig on the 9th of December at Hangar 34. Buy your tickets now because they'll be gone soon. And it'll mean
Yeah.
the world for us to see you there.
And you're the headliners as well, so that's amazing. It's
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
amazing.
our show.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Carl. I mean, I'm really
Thanks,
glad that
Sam.
you said yes to Ask the Drummer, and hope to see you soon, maybe at the academy, the auto academy for the real
Yeah, yeah,
people.
with the real people. Yeah.
Yeah, I might be there. It
hmm
all depends on Dennis Brown. I think it's Dennis who's going to help me sort like but,
I'll
yeah,
make I'll make sure Dennis sorts it.
yeah, yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon. I'll see you in Mexican Dog soon. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And sorry we're running a
Cheers.
bit longer, but but I really enjoyed that chat with you.
Thank you
So
so much.
see you again
Bye
soon.
bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us live. Wow, Dennis said it was the best. Ask the drummer. Yeah, thank you so much, Dennis. Yeah, and thank you to Carl Rooney, our first guest for the third year of Ask the Drummer. I'm so glad that he came on the show. And once again, I just want to say thank you to all the amazing drummers who guested on Ask the Drummer and all our future guests and everyone who's watched this live or maybe later on when I upload it on YouTube. This is going to be uploaded on YouTube as well, so in case people miss it or our friends miss it. But yeah, I'll be back next week, but not on Sunday. It's going to be on Monday because I'll be going to Edinburgh to see Mick Head this weekend on this Friday, and I won't be back until because I think there's a Preston festival as well on Sunday. So I'll be back on Monday next week with another amazing drummer from Liverpool. So the guest announcement post will be done in the next couple of days. So once again, thank you so much, everyone. As always, love music, love life, and love drummers. They're absolutely the best and the coolest people on this planet. Thank you so much, and see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.